The Dark Rise and Fall, the story of Adolf Hitler. Welcome to English Life Stories, where history teaches English and stories speak to your heart. Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered how one man could change the world forever? Through fear, war, and tragedy? This is not an easy story, but it's a true one. It's a story about power, about hate, about choices, but it's also a story that teaches us about what not to do, about the danger of silence, about the importance of learning from history. This is the story of Adolf Hitler, a man who started with dreams and ended in destruction. This story will help you understand the past and also improve your English. Are you ready? Grab your headphones, sit back, and let's dive into this incredible tale that will keep you hooked till the end. Chapter 1: The Art School Rejection. Adolf dreamed of becoming a great artist. As a young man, he applied to the Academy of Fine Arts in Vienna. He felt hopeful, excited. I will become a famous painter, he thought. But when the results came back, he was rejected. Your work is not good enough, they said. He tried. Again the next year. Again he was rejected. This time the pain was deeper. He felt humiliated, lost, angry. He had no job, no education, no plan. He lived in small, dirty rooms. Sometimes he slept on the streets. He painted postcards just to buy food. His dreams were gone, and he started to feel something growing inside him. Hate. He blamed the school. He blamed the system. He blamed others. He didn't see failure as a lesson. He saw it as injustice. That anger would stay with him, and one day, it would explode. But imagine this. What if someone had helped him? What if he had found another dream? History could have been very different. Chapter 2: The War That Changed Him. In 1914, World War I began. Adolf saw a new purpose. He joined the German army. Finally, he felt useful. He felt strong, respected, important. He worked as a messenger, running through bombs and bullets. He was brave. He received 2 medals. He believed, Germany is my home. I will protect it. But in 1918, Germany lost the war. Millions of soldiers died. Germany was forced to accept blame and pay a high price. Adolf felt betrayed. He shouted, "They didn't fight hard enough." He hated the Treaty of Versailles. He hated the leaders who signed it. He hated the countries that won, and again, he blamed others, the Jews, the weak politicians, the foreigners. They are the reason we lost, he said. The war had broken him, but it had also changed him. He had seen death, pain, chaos. He had seen soldiers cry. He had seen friends fall. He had seen a country collapse, and he wanted control. He wanted revenge, and this feeling would guide his every step. Chapter 3: Political Rise. Germany was weak. People were poor, unemployed, angry. Adolf joined a small political group, the German Workers' Party. He gave speeches, powerful, emotional, loud. He told people, Germany will rise again, and they believed him. He became the leader. He changed the name to the National Socialist German Workers' Party, the Nazi Party. He created a symbol, the swastika. He gave the party uniforms, marches, songs. He gave them discipline. He gave them fire. His speeches attracted thousands. He promised strength, order, pride, but he also blamed. He pointed fingers. He used fear to grow his power. He said, "We are strong. They are weak. We must act." In 1923, he tried to take power by force. It failed. He was arrested, but even in prison, he kept fighting. He wrote a book, Mein Kampf, My Struggle. In it, he shared his dreams. And his hate, he blamed Jews. He blamed democracy. He wanted dictatorship. When he left prison, he was ready. And Germany was ready for him. Chapter 4. Propaganda and Manipulation. Adolf Hitler didn't just want to lead. He wanted to control everything. What people thought, what they believed, what they feared. He used powerful tools, posters, newspapers, radios, films. He controlled the message. Germany is strong again, he said, because of me. People heard this message again and again, on the street, at work, in schools, in their homes. Books that disagreed were burned. Art that showed freedom was banned. Teachers were told what to teach. Children were told what to think. Every morning, young boys shouted, "Heil Hitler!" Every night, they prayed to him like a god. Let me ask you something. What happens when children learn hate before they learn love? What happens when fear becomes truth? Adolf created fear. Then he sold the solution. He told Germans, "Our problems are not our fault." He blamed others, the Jews, the communists, the disabled, the foreign, and many believed him, because he said it loud, because he said it often. That is the danger of propaganda. That is the danger of one voice, becoming the only voice. Chapter 5. The Holocaust. Explained with care. The war had begun, but something even darker was growing behind the front lines. Something secret. Something evil. This was the Holocaust. At first, it was quiet. Jews were forced to wear yellow stars. They were banned from jobs, from schools, from parks, from hospitals. Then they were moved into ghettos, crowded places with little food or clean water. But this was only the beginning. Adolf created a plan, the final solution. The goal? To remove every Jewish person from Europe. Families were taken from their homes. Children were pulled from their mothers. People were packed into trains, with no idea where they were going. Some were taken to camps. They were told, "It's just a shower." But it was not a shower. It was a gas chamber. Let me be clear, this part of the story is very painful. But we must tell it, because silence is dangerous. In total, 6 million Jews were murdered. Along with Roma people, disabled people, LGBTQ people, and others Hitler hated. Why? Because of hate. Because of lies. Because people followed. Without thinking. Some resisted. Some helped. But many stayed silent. That is why we must remember, so it never happens again. This was not just history. It was humanity lost. Chapter 6. How did the world allow this? Let me ask you something. How did the world allow this to happen? At first, many people didn't believe it. They heard rumors, they saw reports, but they said, "It can't be true." Some countries had other problems. Some leaders didn't want to get involved, and some were afraid. Afraid to speak, afraid to act. While Hitler built camps, the world looked away. While families disappeared, the world stayed silent. Some people said, "It's not our country. It's not our war." But soon it was. In 1941, Hitler attacked more countries. He broke promises. He started new battles. He turned against allies. And then, the world could not ignore him. The United Kingdom, the Soviet Union, and the United States joined the fight. They saw the danger. They saw the lies. By 1944, Allied forces began liberating the camps. They opened the gates. They saw the victims. They saw the truth. Soldiers cried. They could not believe what they saw. Some said, "How did we let this happen?" The answer is complex, but the lesson is simple. Silence helps evil, and action, even small, can save lives. Even in the darkest times, some people were brave. They hid families. They gave food. They helped strangers. Let me tell you something. Those people, the helpers, they were the light in the dark, and we must be like them. Today, tomorrow, always. Chapter 7. The Final Days. By early 1945, Adolf Hitler's world was collapsing. The Allies were closing in. The Soviet army surrounded Berlin. The man who once gave loud speeches was now hiding underground, in a cold, dark bunker. Beside him was Eva Braun, his longtime partner. In those final days, they got married, but it was not a celebration. It was goodbye. On April 30th, 1945, Adolf Hitler made his final decision. He said, "I will not be captured alive." He and Eva took their own lives. He was 56 years old. 2 days later, Germany surrendered. The war in Europe was over. The man who once shouted to millions now died in silence, and the world began to understand the true cost of his hate. Conclusion. Legacy. So, what can we learn from this story? We can learn that words can help or hurt. For example, kind words can make someone feel happy, but cruel words can cause pain. We can learn that silence can be dangerous. We can learn that hate can grow fast, but love, courage, and truth must grow faster. Adolf Hitler started with a dream, but he let hate guide him. He used lies. He used fear. He used silence. And because of that, millions died. But this story is not only about the past. It is a mirror. It reflects our own actions and choices. It shows us what happens when we forget to think, when we forget to care, when we forget to act. You are not just watching a video. You are learning. You are growing. You are choosing peace. You are choosing love. Use your words to build, not to break. That means speak kindly and help others with what you say. Use your voice to protect, not to hurt. Use your heart to guide, not to hate. History is not just something we read, it's something we live. It means our choices today become the history of tomorrow. It's something we live, and something we shape every day. Now you can start your own story with kindness and courage. Make it kind, make it brave, make it full of light. One of Hitler's quotes was, "If you tell a big enough lie and tell it frequently enough, it will be believed. But now we know, lies destroy, and truth is how we heal." What do you think about his life? What can we learn from him today? Thank you for listening to this powerful tale. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And keep learning English with real stories right here on English Life Stories.